Hello everyone and welcome to another edition of PolyNerding Out. Today we're going to try things a little different than we normally do these PolyNerding Out episodes. No, I'm not being joined by friends for a roundtable discussion. As much as I want to do that, and you know and I know I really want to do it that way, it's just not time for that yet. I haven't been able to pull those strings, grease those wheels, and get that to happen. So instead, what we're doing differently is I have come at today's recording with a much more focused approach than I usually do. You may not know this, or maybe you do because it might be obvious to you, the viewer. I tend to come to these recordings when I do them with an idea of what I want to talk about, but not a real structured breakdown. Today, I'm throwing away the off-the-cuff stream of consciousness stuff, and I've broken down the topic I want to discuss in greater detail, along with a few, let's call them lightning round or quick hit style things that I just wanted to blurt out and get out there. Quick little opinions about things that are going on in the world of gaming, nerdy stuff in general. I wanted to do more than one topic, but we're pushing 10:30. I'm very tired. I need to get to sleep, but I still wanted to get this out as a labor of love, and I hope you enjoy it. I hope this new approach works. Without further ado, let's roll into that topic though. Since we're a week away from Thanksgiving, I think the perfect topic for today is gratitude and Thanksgiving in general. So let's get into that. As I said, given that we are less than a week away from Thanksgiving, I wanted to take a moment and do what many people might feel is cliche, but I want to speak from the heart for a bit and express gratitude for the things and people in my life that make it worth living, that make it worth getting out of bed and facing the day, each and every day, day in and day out, no matter what. Some of these things may seem strange to feel grateful for, especially if you know the hardships that I've experienced in my life. Others are pretty obvious, like my children. It doesn't get any more obvious than being grateful for the wonderful children I have had the pleasure to be the father to. They keep me young. I think without them, without the experiences, the memories, just the general happiness, I think I would feel much, much, much older than my 33 years. And they are a big part of what keeps me going, what keeps me motivated. Without them, I definitely would not be the man I am today. Obviously, I'm grateful, for those of you that know her, to have such a strong, hardworking, intelligent, and nerdy partner in my girlfriend, Chelsea. Her support in my various endeavors also keeps me going. She's been by my side for several years now. Without her, I wouldn't have the apartment I'm in now. I wouldn't have much of the joy in my life. Even though, and I hope she's watching, even though we sometimes have really stupid, inane arguments, largely on this guy right here. I'm the one that leads to the stupid stuff. Arguing semantics over what words mean, things of that nature. She knows I love her, though, and without her, again, I would not be the man I am right now. I would quite honestly probably feel pretty lost. And even though I hate it with a passion that matches my love for Chelsea, I am extremely grateful for my job. Even though it gets very soul-crushing from time to time, and I come home all kinds of beat up mentally, emotionally, and sometimes physically, just from being up on my feet all night. Without it, I wouldn't be able to keep a roof over my head, clothes on my back, food in the fridge, or be able to communicate like this with you fine folks. Without it, I'd be in a situation like this little woman here on screen right now, wandering around lost. Maybe not in some weird demonic dimension situation, but definitely would be in pretty bad shape, and Don't Starve would be the name of my life, not as a video game. And honestly, I have to say, I mentioned the hardships I've been through in my life. I'm grateful for the sum of all my life's experiences, good and bad, because all of them have made me who I am today. Everything from the joy of my children, the love in my life from my girlfriend, the job I can't stand at times, to all the other bullshit that has gone on. Even though it's fun to sit and think about the probability of what you would do differently if you were given a do-over, a reset button, if you will, I don't think I would change much of anything, to be honest, because all those things made me who I am right now. And I, for better or worse, I like who I am right now. And it feels good to finally be able to say that and mean it. I've struggled. Those of you that know me know I struggle with depression and anxiety. And today, as I sit here and I think about the things I'm grateful for, I like where I am. I like who I've become. And I look forward to seeing where this goes from here. And of course, there are a litany of other things before I get too sappy. Big and small, I'm thankful for. My health, having a working car, my family, my wonderful friends who I don't get to see often enough at all, like my buddy Sean, who came down for Extra Life this past weekend. But if I listed them all, we'd be here for hours, and we don't have that time. So I'd like to know, those of you that are watching, what are you grateful for during this time of Thanksgiving, if you will. Feel free to let me know in the comments below, or later on I will give you an email that you can send your comments to as well, if you'd rather do it that way and keep it anonymous. Just curious, what do you have to be thankful for as we approach Thanksgiving? And now let's get to these quick hits real quick, and I could wrap this up, get this video uploaded, and get my tired old ass to bed. As I said, I had initially planned to put another segment between the gratitude bit and these quick thoughts, but I'm running low on time now. Clock's ticking, and I need to get to sleep. I'm very, very tired right now. So here's a quick few thoughts I wanted to give you before I depart for the day, and that's a couple weeks ago I saw Doctor Strange. I thought it was pretty good. It wasn't great, but it was good. It's kind of in the middle of the Marvel movies for me. Spectacular special effects, absolutely mind-blowing effects. But I felt that the story lacked a lot of development or depth to many of the characters, especially Doctor Strange himself, who just kind of went from being an a-hole doctor to being kind of an a-hole wizard, and or sorcerer. And the villain, I felt the villain was one of the flattest villains Marvel's ever done. They just kind of glossed over his motivation in a conversation, and that was it. It's like, oh, he's a bad guy now. He's lost some things. He's angry. Other than that, though, I thought it was an alright movie. It's worth checking out if you haven't seen it yet. Rent it when it comes out. I think that's sufficient unless you're crazy about Doctor Strange. I've got Axiom Verge playing behind this part because I wanted a constant reminder of the fact that Nintendo did not make enough NES classics to meet demand, and I think that is utter horseshit. In this day and age, there's no reason to artificially inflate demand by short producing an item. The people who want it are going to buy it. You teased it. It was obvious a lot of people were going to want it, and then you didn't make enough. And now all you've done by doing that is you've put cash in the pockets of the kind of people that bought it just to go resell it on eBay and Craigslist. And, I mean, I, of course, am dying to get my hands on one, but you won't see me spend $300, $400, $500 on the damn thing. It's a shame that Nintendo decided to do this. We're past that era now, Nintendo. You teased it. People obviously wanted it. Make enough for the people that want it. Extra Life was last weekend. I didn't get to do the full 24 hours this year, as those of you that read PolyNerding.wordpress.com know, or that were there to see the stream on twitch.tv/PolyNerdic_SY. Didn't get to do the full 24 this year. Night shift living made it much more difficult this year than last. I didn't get to do the full 24, as I said. I probably got to do about 10, I think, is what it came up to. 4 of those hours, roughly, were spent with our mics off, so Sean, my girlfriend, and I could have a conversation that, just a conversation between us, and didn't need it broadcasted, just catching up on things. So that part didn't make it to YouTube, but the rest of it did. I put it on a playlist under Extra Life 2016 here on the YouTube channel. Make sure you check it out. There were some great moments in those games, especially when we were playing, Sean and I were playing Overcooked and Broforce together. Those games were fun. It was so great playing with him again. Although I do apologize for the audio missteps on his end. Sean's kind of a loud guy when he gets excited, and it showed in the audio quality. The mic didn't appreciate him as much as I appreciated his company, I guess. Also, while I'm speaking of Extra Life, I think it's an amazing feat that the gaming community as a whole raised over $8.3 million this year. That's absolutely incredible. I've never been more proud to be a gamer than I am with that fact. And then lastly, I've created an email account for all things PolyNerdic. Unfortunately, I don't own the domain yet to be able to set up an @polynerdic.com email. I don't have a domain set up, I should say, not that I don't own it. Any topics, though, that you wish me to discuss or questions you'd like me to go over and answer on here, in the blog, other videos, First Person Fridays, whatever, just send it to polynerdic@yahoo.com, and I really do sincerely hope to hear from you, as your participation will help grow this brand. And that's going to do it for today. I'd like to thank you for watching, and apart from my message of gratitude earlier, please, please, please make sure you let your loved ones know how much they matter to you, how much you love them. Life's too short not to. And I'm going to leave it at that. Until next time, thank you for watching PolyNerding Out. Thank you for being here. Make sure you like, follow, and subscribe, and check out @PolyNerdic on Twitter, PolyNerdic on Facebook, my Twitch channel, which I've already mentioned, and of course, polynerdic.wordpress.com. One more time, thanks for watching.